Renegade fans! We are here with our very first Renegade Society show. I am Sara Erickson, and this is Scott Gaeta here with me, and we are going to be hosting this exciting first ever event. Our very first Renegade Society. So yeah, what's going on with you, Scott? How are you doing tonight?
So I don't know, I'm hanging out here. We've got a list of stuff to talk about, and so yeah. One more thing.
Sounds awesome. So the very first thing we wanted to tell you guys about is the hold on. Some technical difficulties. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so we want to tell you about the Renegade Society and what that is, and show you your very first secret thing. So Scott, do you want to start us off and talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the idea behind the Renegade Society is that we are going to kind of give fans of our games inside information. So we're going to ask you to sign up and become members, and then we're going to start to share secrets with you, tell you what we have coming up, and spoil things, and maybe show you some components as we're working with the factory. And then also give you guys special offers later on. So if we're going to be at Gen Con, we might tell you to come by the booth and get us something special that's only for Renegade Society members. So that's the plan, and we'll see how it goes. So we're making this up as we go along. So as we come up with more awesome ideas, we'll just keep throwing them in there.
It's very true. But as the very, very first thing that you get to see that is secret, that nobody else has seen yet, we're going to show you our new logo. So let's see if that works. Hey, hooray for technology. It actually worked. So this is our new logo that we're going to be using for the radio show. So you'll see this on future episodes. But this is also going to be our the Renegade Society logo in general. So we're going to be adding fun little extra things to this. So if you're a Renegade Society member, you're going to be seeing more of this in the future. So that's our first secret thing that we are giving to you this evening, but we want to give you something else as well. So we're going to start off with Guess the Game. So if you are the first person in our chat to guess the component, the game associated with this component, then you're going to win a copy of this game. Are you guys ready for this? I'm gonna give you guys just a second so you're all prepared. You've got your keys on your keyboard. Okay, and here is your first hint. Everybody see that?
What is that?
What is that? All right, I don't see anybody seen it yet. There's a bit of a delay in the video, so we're going to give you a few seconds to see if anybody guesses it. It is not Ex Libris, but that is a very good guess. All right. See if anybody else, any other guesses? Not yet? Okay, we're going to show you one more. It's not Sunday Split either. Also a good guess. All right, here's another one. Any better ideas? You could get 50 points for guessing this correctly. No guesses yet? Okay. One more component. Oh, Spy Club. No, but that is pretty exciting. So Spy Club is a game that we haven't talked much about yet. It is coming out. Oh, we have our first winner. So Jonathan guessed Pytown, and that is correct. So Jonathan, you will want to stick around or send me an email later on, and I will get your information. We'll send you a copy of Pytown. Awesome. Thank you guys for participating in our first Guess the Game. When you come back next time, you will get to do that again on our next show. All right.
Someone said that that's the last score on their math test.
Definitely.
That's sad.
Oh dear. Awesome. So it is about the holidays, and Pie Town is all about making pies. And what do you do when you're eating pies? You do holidays too, right? That's how they go together. So we are going to chat a little bit about the holidays. So Scott, what are you looking forward to this break? What are you going to be playing?
What am I going to be playing during the holidays?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be playing a game from Christopher Chung that we haven't published yet.
Ooh,
so I'm going to play that. I'm going to be playing a game from TC Petty that we haven't published yet.
More secrets.
Did you mean games that we've already made? So I'll probably play some Pie Town. We've been playing a lot of Pie Town in our family because we're big pie fans. We will probably play some Fox in the Forest because I finally found a copy of it because I didn't even have a copy of it because we out. So
That's great. I saw that on our list of things we were shipping. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, get me a Pie Town, damn it, or a Fox in the Forest. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna dig into. I have a lot of unplayed games, so we're gonna try to get to some of those. What about you? What are you gonna play?
I am going to play through all of the Raiders of the North series, and there are a bunch of them. So I'm going to start out with the 3 main games and play Shipwrights, Raiders, and Explorers of the North Sea. And then I'm going to go through and play them again with the Rune Saga campaign because I thought that would be pretty exciting. And then I'm going to play Raiders with the 2 new expansions that come out in January. And those just landed in our warehouse, and we're shipping those out now. So I'm going to give those a go.
Wait, so you're going to play them all through the base trilogy. Then you're going to go back and play it with Rune Saga as the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to go and play it all again, Fields of Fame and Hall of Heroes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Vikings.
It is.
Do you watch the Vikings show on the History Channel?
I haven't watched anything more than the first episode, so I need to do that in between while I'm playing all these games.
It's really good. So it's about Ragnar Lothbrok and all his stuff, and now it's about his sons. And his one son is a crazy maniac person, and he's really cool. So you should do that. You should watch that. But I don't think you'll have enough time because you're going to only be playing Viking games. So
it will be hard to fit those all in.
Yeah, how long you think this holiday break is, but it's not that long.
I'm going to take off extra time in January just to get through all these games.
Denied.
Shucks. Oh, no. So, yeah, that's most of what I'm going to be doing. I agree there won't be a lot of extra time, but I do want to get through Altiplano one more time because I've only played it twice now, and I loved it both times. So that's the other big thing on my agenda.
Yeah, no, I'd like to get in some Altiplano. I'd also like to play Kepler. I don't own a copy of our version of Kepler yet. So I only have the original. I have like 3 copies of the original sitting around here somewhere. But I just ordered.
So that's one thing that's kind of funny about working for a publisher that I didn't really expect is that I think I played more games before I started working for you because there's just not as much time as you think. But I do get to play games that aren't out yet, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, my copy of Pie Town isn't even a real copy. I have a prototype, and I have the factory proof that came in, but at that point the prototype or the factory proof was missing the cloth Pie Town bag. So my copy of Pie Town doesn't have a bag, so I use a clank bag with my pie. So
luckily they're the same size. They're just not smaller. Yeah. That's awesome. So speaking of Pie Town, we are celebrating the release of that today, along with a few other games. Kepler 3042 also released today, as well as Planet Defenders and Shipwrights of the North Sea. So those are all actually now available in friendly hobby game stores across the country for the most part, although the holiday shipping delays did cause some problems getting them all the way to the coast, but they should be there by the end of the week.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting.
Why did you fail at shipping, Sarah?
It was my fault. I actually was driving the boat all the way over here and decided to stop and play some games instead of continuing. So that's my fault. I'll take that. So next topic of conversation for this evening, we are just about at the end of 2017, and we wanted to look back a little bit and see what games we've been working on and what we got through this year, how Renegade has changed, and just sort of take a look back. So what do you think this year was super hot as a theme overall, not just for our games, but in general in the industry?
What do I think was super hot? So definitely things around Mars seem to be pretty hot. You know, one in particular. Miniatures games, for certain, like or board games with miniatures, that seemed to be pretty popular. Games that totally didn't need miniatures in them have miniatures in them and just are more fun. So I don't think that's a bad thing at all, because
they're like little toys. They're so
fun. All for it. I want more toys. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's definitely a trend that I think we saw really ramp up this year, and I think we'll probably see more of that in the future. But you know, the trade-off is then that game is more expensive. So I think that's the market will decide though if that's what people really want. But I'm all for it. I like little figures that I can paint or play with or do whatever. So yeah, so I think that's pretty good. Those are all positive trends. The negative trends that I've observed is there's way too many games coming out. People can't keep up. Stores can't keep up. Distributors can't keep up. Gamers can't keep up. So that I think we're already starting to see a correction, which is going to be a healthy thing in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. But as a gamer, we are certainly quite lucky right now. It's a tough time as far as deciding what to buy, filtering through all these games. But it's really cool that people have access to publishing in a way that they didn't before because of Kickstarter. So we're seeing some really creative new stuff. But it is definitely a challenge to get above the noise and to just find out what's out there as a consumer.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, from a gamer's perspective, like infinite choice is good. You know, I don't know how many of us have infinite dollars, but, but infinite choice is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the biggest takeaway for designers coming out of this year?
So I mean, I think designers, it's similar. There's lots of opportunity. There's lots of ways to get your game published, more than there's ever been before. I mean, there's so many publishers that you can try to work with. There's Kickstarter. You know, Indiegogo kind of made an attempt to make a splash in that space, but I don't really think it worked. I mean, if I was an independent designer that wanted to self-publish, I think Kickstarter's the way to go. As far as the types of games, like, I don't think there's any limit to that either. I mean, it's pretty wide open. I mean, look at what we put out this year. If you went back 5 years ago, we never would have published Fox in the Forest, right? A two-player trick-taking game. Two-player games in general were just, you know, poison. 5 years ago, no publisher wanted to look at a two-player game. If you asked them, you have a two-player game? They would say, don't even bother showing it to me. What else have you got? So.
Well, and I love that because that tells us that we have so many more gamers in this industry now, so many more people picking up board games and trying it out. And that allows things like two-player games to exist. And exactly, Fox in the Forest is so incredibly hot right now. And that never would have happened. But now it's a classic game that you remembered playing this type of game, trick-taking, as a kid with your whole family. Now you can play it with just your significant other. And that also tells me that the diversity in this industry is growing, because now you're playing games with your significant other and not just going down to the game store and playing it with your 10 guy friends. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Like, tabletop games have gone mainstream finally in North America. I mean, they've been mainstream in Europe for a long time, but now people are playing games that never played tabletop games before in their lives, and they're just discovering it's just a new form of entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. So where did you find most of the games that were published at Renegade this year? Where were we finding those? Mostly at special events because people emailed you? What would you say is the biggest area that you found them?
So a lot of people contacted us directly. I would say this year it was probably less blind, cold call type contacts. It was a lot more of designers that we'd already worked with or that we already knew and had been looking at designs for the last couple of years. Unpub was really good. We found a couple games there that we really liked. Because our catalog is pretty split. About half of our catalog are totally original games that we develop, and then about the other half of the catalog are games that we work with outside partners in other markets, and then we bring their games here. So it's, from the designer standpoint, it's been the designers that we've worked with or have built a relationship with over the last couple of years. Not to say that we haven't published games this year that they were the very first game that designer's ever had published. Pytown is one of those. So that game we just, we tripped and fell and found it. So
we needed so much pie that week, we just couldn't ignore it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, we just walked into an event and was a bunch of designers play testing their stuff and played his game, and we were like, oh, we like this game, let's make it. And poor Daniel was just like, are you, is this a joke? Is there like, is it a prank or something? Like, is Ashton Kutcher gonna jump out and like?
I really don't think he believed us. I don't know, said we would
either. Like he was taken a bit off guard. So
yeah, that was awesome. That was at an Unpub San Diego. So that was actually a little Unpub event, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. No, that was cool. And then games that we're making that come from outside of us, from other markets. Again, it's a lot of relationships that we've already had. So, like the North Sea line with Shem, that relationship was over a year in the making before it came to be. So, and now, we have a relationship with him, and we'll be working with him on his next trilogy. So.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. It's going to be really good.
Yep, it's awesome. We should have a prototype of it in the next week or two.
Ooh, I think I have a print and play of it. I could make a prototype tomorrow.
We do have a print and play.
That's pretty exciting. So that was 2017. Renegade, we had a lot of stuff coming out. We had a lot of new things, bigger, heavier games that I'm very excited about that we haven't seen before. So what would you say we are what would be your designer tip of the day? How about that?
My designer tip of the day? Mm-hmm. Don't call me over Christmas. No.
That's fair.
No, I don't know. I think that going into 2018, from what we've learned this year, only pitch games that you're confident are 80-90% done and solid. They really do need to be there. It's so competitive right now that a publisher doesn't want to look at a game that is kind of half-baked. It really, really needs to be solid. Do a few rounds of development with outside people, play test it, and develop it, not just within the same little group that you played it, all the time. It needs to be really solid because, again, we're seeing some really, really good designs on a regular basis that we can't make everything. So we're even passing on good games, and so are other publishers. So make sure your game is as good as it could possibly be before you show it to anybody.
Yes, I agree with that. Good designer tip of the day. One other thing I want to touch on for 2017 was that we went to some really cool events that we haven't been to before. We went to some smaller conventions that we got to see some of our fans at, and we got to go to some really big events like Gen Con, PAX Unplugged, very first time that event has ever happened. So from our fans, this is a question for you guys. What events would you like to see us at next year? And we'll give you guys a few minutes to marinate on that and talk about that. But while they are typing in there, so Scott, what did you think of PAX Unplugged?
Oh, it was awesome. So I think it was everything that we hoped it would be. It was lots of new people. I mean, people that we never would have seen at a Gen Con or an Origins or anything else. So it was pretty cool. A lot of people that had been exposed to tabletop games but had never really been to a tabletop game convention.
I was really surprised by how many people were doing RPG events at it and how much of a big deal that was in the show.
Yeah, RPGs were huge there. Like, we talked to some other RPG people that said that old RPG books that weren't new releases were really popular there, which just goes to show these were new people, new gamers coming in and finding new stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see where that show goes next year. It's going to be at a slightly different time of the year. It's not going to overlap with BGG Con, which is awesome. We're really sad we didn't get to go to that show this year. So that should be good.
Yeah, next year we'll be able to do both.
Yeah.
They figured it out.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll hear better next year. I'm glad people liked our group. That's exciting. But it should be even bigger.
Yep.
And right now, that's actually something that we're kind of working on as we wrap up the year, is figuring out what shows we're going to, what we're going to be doing with our booths, what games we're focusing on at different shows. So that's been a lot of fun to think about what we have going on. And that's definitely something we're going to talk about a lot more in our show.
I'm losing you a little bit. Your sound is going out.
Oh, no. It's sort of a problem living in the middle of Montana. Sometimes these things happen.
Uh-oh.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're just a little choppy.
Okay. Well, I'll have to call my internet company and see what we can do about next time.
All right. Yeah, somebody said there's an echo.
Yeah, well, we will try. So I do have headphones. We'll try that.
Sorry, Scrapyard Armory. We're working it out. This is our first one. We're just happy that you can see us.
Yeah, it's true. There are a lot of technical problems that could be going on, but at least we've cut out a few of them. All right. Well, is that a little bit better at least?
We got a heart. It's all good.
Okay, good. Awesome. So yes, next year we have a few exciting events we're going to be going to. We'll be at Essen again, going to PAX Unplugged, Origins, Gen Con, and we really hope to see you guys at those shows. So the next thing I have on our agenda for this evening are some fan questions and answers. We posted these on Twitter and got some great responses. So the first one was from Meeple Overboard. They asked, how did Renegades get so awesome so fast?
Uh-oh. Couldn't hear you. Come back, Sarah.
Oh, am I gone? Uh-oh. Okay, let's see what technical difficulties we have. Am I back?
I can hear you. Your sound's just a little choppy.
Okay.
All right. So what was the question?
All right. So first question from People Overboard. How did Renegade get so awesome so fast?
It was like you were going through a tunnel.
Oh no!
What was Renegade something? Oh, the question was, how did Renegade get so awesome so fast? Oh, Susie's like she's like a Sarah whisperer. Wow, you can understand that?
She's the best.
Okay, so they can hear you okay. For some reason, I just can't hear you. How did Renegade get so awesome so fast? Well, it was just part of the plan. No, I mean, we just had a plan, and our plan was pretty simple. Just publish games that we thought people would like. Make sure that they have, high production values and looked great, and get them out there and market them and build community. So I don't think it was anything, some like weird, crazy secret. It was just find games that we think people would want to play. So, and just, and make them.
That's usually a good way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. It seems to have worked out so far. We're not doing too bad. We're doing okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I've been here only a year and a half now, which seems pretty bonkers because we've really grown so fast since I started. There are now 8 of us, which is pretty huge.
Susie said we did a good job.
Yay! Awesome. All right, so next question. What would your dream game be to publish? And we're going to connect that with another one. Do you have a dream IP or theme you would like to see in a board game?
Okay, I couldn't hear the first part of the question because for some reason I'm only getting some sound. But do I have a dream IP that I would want to work on? I don't know. I've gotten to work on a lot of IP, so I would say I would like to work on Star Wars. That would be nice. Beyond that, I've gotten to work on so many different things. I've been able to work on Lord of the Rings and Star Trek, Walking Dead and Big Bang Theory, Adventure Time. So I don't know. Bring me Star Wars and I'll be done.
Jack Sweet called it. He figured it out before you even said it.
Bring the Emperor to my throne room and I'll be happy guy.
So that was going to be my plan for this evening before we scheduled this, was to watch the first of the newest Star Wars movies again before going to see it.
Yeah. But, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to turn my YouTube sound on and my Google Hangout sound off.
Sounds like a dangerous plan. No, because it's
better. I don't know. Let me try that. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to turn my YouTube.
It's delayed by several seconds.
All right.
That was a good idea.
We'll muddle through.
Okay. All right. So yes, Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
All right. One other question from Saint Nick. There have been a huge attendance at conventions this year. What have you learned from this year's convention that will make 2018 even better?
What have we learned from this year's conventions?
Yeah.
So the thing that we learned from this year's convention at Gen Con is that we need a bigger booth. So our Gen Con experience was on the first day of Gen Con. The Gen Con people came over and were not very happy with us. I forget the guy's name. He was really nice, but he came over just like, what's going on? Because we were blocking all the aisles and had a line going back to the door, and we're blocking that aisle and lots of other people's booths. We're really sorry, people, that we blocked your booth. We didn't mean it. We didn't do it on purpose. I mean, it was really awesome, but we're sorry. So we learned that we need more space. We learned in Essen that pre-orders are good. So we do that, and we did a pre-order program so people could order their games in advance, and then they could just pick them up at the booth. So we really like that, and I think we're going to do that at North American events. And we have a plan to do that where you don't have to rush the booth in the morning, and you could actually get your stuff, maybe depending on the convention, even before the hall opens, which would make life easier for lots of people. So crowd control, that's what we learned. We learned crowd control and pre-orders.
Yes,
Yeah.
those are important themes we decided. They end in much less dangerous situations and death in general. That's good.
Somebody asked if have you ever pre-ordered a game at a convention. Have I personally? I have not.
Oh no, that was me asking.
You're asking the audience.
Yeah, I was wondering if any of them have. It seems like a pretty good thing to do. I actually, before I had any idea we were going to do Altiplano, I pre-ordered that at SN as my first ever pre-ordered game, and that was fun.
Yeah, you should check with me first.
I will remember to do that. Well, I have a copy of Altiplano, though. I don't know if you do, but I have one.
I do.
Oh, okay. That's good.
It's right. It's back there.
Nice. Awesome. Well, any other exciting topics you would like to cover?
You're looking at chat?
No, I'm asking, are there any other topics you want to cover?
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you. Still, my sound is not very good. Any other topics I want to cover? I don't think so. I think we're going to have a lot of new stuff starting in January to talk about.
Yes, January is going to be awesome.
We have a long list of new things and some IP to announce and some partnerships to announce and some other stuff. But I mean, who wants to talk about that right before Christmas?
Well, BGG is working on their most anticipated games of 2018 right now. So if you want to go and check that out, you're welcome to vote for us. And on our next show, we will be looking into Renegade's future and talking about 2018 and what's coming up. So you are all welcome to join us again on January 3rd at 9 o'clock Eastern or 6 o'clock Pacific, and I will post that time in here in the chat as well. And thank you all for being so patient and understanding with our technical difficulties. And we look forward to seeing you guys again next month.
All right, cool. It was fun. We'll do it again.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.